Yo, what's up? Here we are replacing 2 compressors on this unit. Basically, we are going to cut out these and these. I always try to avoid heating up the pipes more than necessary. So if you have enough slack on the pipe, enough wiggle room, I would always prefer to cut it out. And I always prepare the pipe first. So I would sand this, get it ready. Obviously we're doing both, so I'll just cut out both of them at the same time so I can just braze one time. We also have our filter dryers up here, and it all looks like we can cut it out, brace it back in. Just have to double check how big the new filter dryers are. They should be the same size. And then we also have to put some solder here because there's a leak on this. And then that's pretty much it. Okay, here we go. So sandpaper, cutter. Yeah, that's how you prepare it. I needed it so often I had to go to the truck just to grab the sandpaper. So now I always have a little bit on my bag. Do you want to do one first and then the other one? Or do you want me to just prep everything?
Prep everything and then...
Because here there are some couplings on there. Do you want to sweat them out, or? Because that looks like 3/8. Huh?
Yeah, we can sweat those out.
Okay, that's that. Okay, so we prepped everything, so we're good on that. Now we're gonna start cutting out stuff. It's very simple, you just attach it. And you tighten it as you go around. You're obviously trying to cut, so tighten it and then do a few turns. So you're cutting the copper instead of just pushing it in. Tighten, turn. Yep, I guess there was some left in there. You also want to make sure that all your prep work is done. And usually I would remove all the screws and everything beforehand, because you want to try and have the system closed as fast as possible, because you're trying to prevent atmosphere from entering the system as much as possible, because the more atmosphere you're getting in the system, the longer your evacuation will usually take. So we finished removing everything. Now I'll take out the compressor. Oh, great. Somebody forgot to remove the crankcase heater. Okay, let's do that. And if you ever forget to take these out and put them back, and you already soldered everything back in and you can't get around these, get out of there. Then you can always cut the wires and go that way, but usually you should be able to just get it around. See, one has one and the other one doesn't. I guess they cut out the other one already, so let's do this now.
Which one you do? Both of them?
Well, first I'm gonna do this one, and then because that one has a leak, and then I'll sand this one on top here a little bit, and then I'll do both the filter dryers, and then we put the compressors in.
You got to sand on the filter dryer welds? No.
Sorry?
You don't have to sand on the filter dryer welds.
I'm gonna sand these ones here.
Okay.
Okay, that works pretty well.
Well, it's flowing that way, right? So they're both going up?
Yeah. So when you're installing these, make sure you look at the arrow, because you want to go
towards the evaporator.
Towards the evaporator. And then when you're flowing nitrogen, it doesn't need to be a lot. It just needs to be a very little amount, just so you're displacing air and you're not creating oxidation inside the pipe. Do we have sticks? Do you have sticks?
I got you. We got sticks.
Nice.
Rolling. Keep it up. Go ahead and throw some more beat on there. It just got a little too hot with the weight.
Can we hold it, maybe? Where is it? Isn't it supposed to stick inside a little bit?
It is, but we got it a little too hot, and so the weight of the end of the bulb dropped. You can still do it just with less heat. Yeah, and I would keep the distance of your right there. You can go a little closer than that, but that's pretty good right there. I wouldn't go any further.
The filter dryers are in. And we have here the new compressors, I guess, are set up differently, so they don't fit. So we're gonna get a swaging tool, expand the pipe and get it over there. The bottom fits well, so that's not a problem. And sometimes what you can do, if this is loose, you basically bend the copper past the connection, and that way it will stay there. That way you don't have to hold it in place, because you remember it was like this and now it's like this. So once we have this, we can just slide it on top and it will be good. Okay, and then pressure test, vacuum, charge, test, supply, return temps, check everything. Okay, both compressors are in. What happens sometimes is I forgot to take this one out. These ones are actually removable, as you can tell here. So I was brazing down here and this overheated and now it's leaking. So I'll have to replace this, and that's something to be aware of when you're bracing close to this. To remove these, you usually want to have 2 wrenches, one on top here and then one on the bottom to hold this in place, because you don't want to twist this off. Then now we're gonna pressure test at least one circuit, and as you put the pressure on there, you also want to put this leak detector on your joints to make sure all your joints are tight, which usually once you're pressure testing, you can also hear leaks. Okay, here we are half an hour later, still holding. So now we can evacuate. And then also, if you wanna, it's a little trick, if you can't replace these because the system is charged or whatever, and you can't pull them out, or the customer doesn't want to pay for it, these ones are little swivels. They have a core depressor and then they have a Schrader valve on the other end, so you can use that as well. Okay, pulling vacuum. This is my setup. This is a core depressor, so I can simply move this and disconnect my vacuum pump from the system. I removed one of the cores, but here I can't really do that because I don't have the special core removal tool for this one, for the Core Max. Okay, so we've been running for about 1.5 hours and we're only at 800. So we'll break the vacuum with some nitrogen. And when you're using nitrogen to break the vacuum, all you want to do is break the vacuum. Usually you don't want to put a lot of nitrogen, you just want to break the vacuum, close it again, and then keep pulling the vacuum. Charging the system, you always want to go through the high side first, and then on here you just disconnect your vacuum gauge so you don't get the refrigerant in your vacuum gauge. We're just charging it up. It's supposed to be 16 pounds, so see how much we can get in before we have to turn it on. We fully charged circuit 1. It was 16 pounds. We got 12 in there, and then we added another 4, so we should be good now. And then I'm just waiting for circuit 2. I think we have 7 in there, and we need another 10. And I was to make sure that this is here, so you're not bypassing and creating high head pressure artificially. And these are our final pressures. Factory charge 49 with both stages, 55 with one stage. That's our supply, and our return was 77. So yeah, and our outside is around 95. I think it's good for today.